I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And originally I was going to do a podcast saluting my friend Wilma, who passed away. I did do the podcast. I need to re-listen to it to see if I need to make some edits. But I really just can't bring myself to do it. It was hard enough to get through recording it. So I thought, well, it's just not time to do that just yet. I've had one blow after another in the last few months, and it's been quite disheartening, and it's kind of stifled my creative side a little bit because I just can't seem to get back in the swing of things as far as like the podcast or even making TikTok videos or doing something creative and fun. I just cannot focus to do that. So, right now I thought, well, I'm in the mood to kind of podcast. There's nothing else going on tonight. It's raining and there's nothing on TV. And I thought, well, I'll just make a podcast just to let everybody know I'm still here and just to make a podcast, just to make a podcast. So I don't really have anything in particular to talk about, but I figured I can come up with some stuff. So I'm going to take a break, and, my little cat, Bitsy May, is needing some attention. I'm going to pay a little attention to her, and I'll be back and, just talk about the state of things right now in my life. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And I'm going to, first off, I'm going to tell you I've got a cold again, and hopefully I won't hack all the way through this. I just drank some water. I hope that helps. But I get a tickle when I'm doing my podcast voice, which is a little deeper than my regular voice. But I admit it. I'm a fraud. This is not my real voice. This is just a simulation. No. But I do prefer to speak a certain way when I do my podcasts. That's just, to me, that's just the way it is. A lot of announcers do that. I learned that from watching a lot of television news people and meeting a lot of television news people who don't use their basic speaking voice. They try to enunciate things and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I digress. As I do, I should have called my podcast I Digress, because I digress a lot. Actually, if you talk to me in person, I kind of do that. I'm kind of like Edith Bunker. If you ever watched All in the Family, how she'd tell a story and Archie be about ready to kill himself because she just would go, off in different details of the story. That's kind of the way I am. No, it's really the way I am. One of my coworkers always tells me to, let's play a game of shut the up and let's see how long you'll last. And of course I blow that within 5 seconds because I'm not good at that game at all. Oh well. It's just me being me doing me. Like I said, I'm doing this podcast, about just the state of things in my world, your world, all of our worlds, whatever. I don't really have a particular subject I'm going to talk about today. Pardon me. When I feel a tickle come on, I'm going to get a drink. Like I said, I was trying to do a salute to my friend and longtime coworker, Wilma. And I completed it, but I just cannot bring myself to listen to it, to edit it. It was really hard to get through. Plus, I want her family to hear it before I put it out there to make sure everything's good. So I will do that at a later date. It might be a while before I can do it. Folks, I've had, lost my mom last April. I lost my sister in August. And then I've lost my Wilma, who was like my other mom, my mentor at work, everything. So 3 of the most important ladies in my life are now gone, and it's just kind of left me sitting here shell-shocked a little bit. I think that's about the best I can come up with. I have not been myself at all. I'm very down. I've been sleeping a lot. I am creatively stifled. That's why I haven't done a podcast other than that one. I just can't focus. Plus, I've been having a little bit of a medical issue with breathing. And anyway, I kind of got an idea what to talk about. And I thought, run with it, boy, because you need to get a podcast out there before people think that you've stopped doing them. So that's kind of what this is. I don't want you all to think I've given up. I try to be timely with these. Excuse me while I have a little bit of water before I start choking. There we go. That's my ice clicking, by the way. First thing I want to talk about. The Academy Awards aired a few years ago. Seems like it. A few weeks ago. And what a snooze fest that was. What a bunch of people that are so full of themselves. Where is the glamour? Where is the fun? Where's the admiration for these people? Since they've been trying to tell us how to vote and who to vote for and how to live and being so full of themselves politically, it's taken all the magic and entertainment out of the entertainment industry. Movie stars just need to shut up and make movies. That's what you do. You don't have to use your fame as a platform for politics. I'm frankly sick of it. And do some good movies and make movies that you want to see. That should be not try to guess what people want to see, not try to worry about offending people or making people think. That is creatively, that is so stifling. Honestly, if you want to do a movie about your political beliefs or something you support, that is a far more creative way and a better way to get something out there than being so full of yourself and making a movie about Cinderella and then getting up there and talking about some sort of political statement. If you want to make political movies, go make them. Come up with something. Be creative. That is, I like Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry found a way with Star Trek to present modern problems in these science fiction stories. And I thought that was a creative way of maybe making us think a certain way. And Star Trek was a big influence in my life. He always had a multiracial cast and had respect for aliens and other cultures. And, it was he did it. He did this. He put his beliefs into Star Trek and presented it in a way maybe that you didn't notice it because it was entertaining. But that's the magic of Hollywood. Now, then on the other side, where are the good popcorn movies? I was thinking about Jaws, the first summer blockbuster back in 50 years ago, 1975. That was a great movie. It wasn't really about anything other than this summer in this town were a shark attacked people and how they dealt with it. And it was exciting. And it was a good movie, and it's a classic. It didn't preach or anything. It was just, sometimes you just want to go to the movies and forget about your problems. And it was perfect like that. And then I was thinking about Star Wars, how creative that was. Now, George Lucas used the old Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers serials as the inspiration for this, but he made something of his own with the ideas and paid homage to those ideas from before, but he didn't rip off the idea. He made an original world of his own with Star Wars. Then I also was thinking about how much fun there were all these teen movies like 16 Candles and they weren't about anything important other than just the most basic of feelings like romance and being a kid, and they weren't too deep, and they were a fun, entertaining 2 hours. And I know now they just dissect 16 Candles because of the way they treated the Asian character and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, honestly, did anybody get offended at that at the time? And should they get offended at it now? I don't even... I've never watched a movie and got offended at a character. I like Napoleon Dynamite. I'm never making fun of nerds. I'm a nerd. I just think that's awful. I'm going to ban that movie. You know, whatever. It was just fun. And I guess that's my message to Hollywood. Put the fun back into what you do. Quit being so full of yourself. Oh, God. Otherwise, it's just people are going to lose interest. People have lost interest. There has not been a movie I wanted to go see in forever. We go by the theater and it's like, I would not pay 2 cents to see any of those movies. I wouldn't even watch them for free. So I did enjoy Wicked. It was that story has been, floating around for a long time as a Broadway show. I thought they did very well. It was actually an entertaining movie, and, it was a good way to lose yourself for 2 hours with music, and it's what movies should be. So anyway, such a shame that Hollywood's lost that magic that has kept it going for so many years. These people, it's almost like your favorite restaurant was bought out by somebody and they changed the menu and it's just all health food and no delicious food. So you don't want to go there anymore. That's kind of what Hollywood's done. They've taken the magic out of what they do, and they're so unlikable anymore. It's almost like they act like they're elite, that they're better than everybody. And I just think that's terrible. So anyway, that's the way I feel about the movie situation. You know, television, I don't watch regular television at all. I might catch a new show on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, you know, like I like the show Ghosts, and there's a show called Evil that I really like. You see where I like spooky things, but I mostly enjoy reruns of shows I've seen a million times from the old days. And the same with movies. I prefer old movies, but I would really, really love to see something just totally blow me away that's new. I mean, I'm glad to see Star Trek still plugging along with Strange New Worlds and stuff, but surely there's someone out there that's got an original idea to make their own, not the Star Trek, make their own Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever, something for the future, for future generations, something of their own. I don't know. Just the whole lack of originality just blows my mind. It really irritates me. The Grammys. Let's talk about the Grammys, shall we? The Grammys has turned into the MTV Music Awards with, just artists wanting to dress provocatively, and, there's no pretension about it anymore, certainly, but I think Beyonce winning the country award was just a little bit ridiculous. I honestly, the fact that she has 33 Grammys blows my mind, and Taylor Swift has all the Grammys she has. And yeah, you may be a huge fan of those ladies, and congratulations to you if you are, because certainly they're at the top of the pop heap there. But I grew up I remember one year, I love Olivia Newton-John. At the height of her career, when she was doing Physical, right after Grease, and Physical was the number one song in the 1980s, by the way, she was nominated for a Grammy that year. And I honestly don't remember if it was, I think it was Physical that she was nominated for that year. And also that 1981 also had Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes, which was 9 weeks at number one. And I think Sheena Easton was nominated for all these great 80s female vocalists, these modern, and Lena Horne Lena Horne on Broadway. I think it was Lena Horne on Broadway was nominated in the best pop vocal, female category. And Olivia was top of the heap that year. She was the number one female singer pretty much in the world at that point. But Lena Horne won. And my 14, 15-year-old mind was like, no, who's Lena Horne? Which I knew who Lena Horne was, but she wasn't being played on the radio, and she was old in my mind. And that was kind of what people didn't like about the Grammys back then. But to be truthful, looking back now, no offense. Of course, I love Olivia, but Lena Horne was amazing. She was a legend. And although I think she was miscategorized in that category, maybe she should have been traditional pop or a different category. She won, and respectfully so, she should have, because she's just amazing. But it also bugs me because Olivia was probably at her best as Kim Carnes. That was probably the biggest song of her career, and neither one of those ladies won. And you still hear those songs today. And quite frankly, Olivia Newton-John, Kim Carnes, and Linda Ronstadt. I think Linda Ronstadt might have been the other woman that was nominated that year. I'd have to go look back. I can't remember. But it reminded me of today's Grammys and Taylor Swift winning 75 Grammys. And this Olivia had a total of 4 Grammys. Song of the Year. Record of the Year, 1974. Best Female Pop Vocalist for I Honestly Love You, 1974, which was also Record of the Year. She won for Let Me Be There, Best Country Vocal in 1973 or 74. I'm confused with the years because the Grammys was always for the year before, so I'm not sure what year the Grammys are given out versus the year the song came out. So forgive me. I'm usually better at trivia than this, but Olivia also won her video album for Physical, won Best Long Form Video or something like that, or maybe it was just the video. But she won 4 Grammys and sold well over 100 million records. And now these girls come in there and they sell all those records, and they have top 40 hits right off the bat with their deluxe editions, and music has changed so much. And I just hate it. And I used to follow the top 40 charts, and it was always fun to watch your favorite songs climb up. And back in those days, when I was watching, an artist was only allowed to have one single out at a time. So you had a really great diversity of the Hot 100. And that's how we all grew up. You might have Barry Manilow in Alabama, and you might have Olivia, you might have ABBA, you might have AC/DC, you might have all in this top 40. And now if Beyonce releases an album, followed the next week by Taylor Swift releasing an album, every track on their album's on the top 40. And I'm like, is this what radio's playing? Just playing their albums? That you lose your diversity that way. That's so annoying. The way the chart system works right now it's really lost its luster again. Again, my favorite things, movies and music. And it's just, I'm not interested in the modern versions of either one because they've gotten so, whatever, I don't know, political. And it's just, and another thing, you look at old clips, they had a clip of Janice Ian just singing, at 17. no dancers behind her or anything. It just was a simple performance, and you just don't see singers like that anymore. Just on a stool with a guitar or an arrangement in the background. To me, it just, singers lose something in the production. There's nobody that just can just sing simply and just wow you. I don't know if this generation needs so much more to wow them. I don't know. I remember hearing an a cappella version of Oh Holy Night by Martina McBride, and it was just amazing and just brought tears to my eyes. And I thought, you can't get any less production than just someone singing, no instruments, nothing, just their voice and being moved by just their voice alone. That just doesn't happen anymore. A lot of the younger singers want to oversing, or they sing in a certain style. Ariana Grande is a good example of somebody who has a great voice, and obviously in Wicked, but a lot of her pop hits, she's kind of, to me, singing in a modern way, and it isn't showcasing her voice as much as it could. And hopefully Wicked will bring her to a wider audience. She has a song out right now called Twilight Zone that I really enjoy. A friend of mine kind of told me to listen to it. I don't know, that's more like it. It's a little less production, a little more singing, and not over singing. And you can tell she's in her 30s now, so her voice has gotten more seasoned. And I don't know. Taylor Swift, I don't know why I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't hate Taylor Swift. She doesn't do anything for me. And she's kind of the modern day Olivia, really, if you think about it. But there's just something about her that just does not appeal to me. And I actually do like some of Beyonce's stuff. I don't talk about male singers too much. Excuse me. My favorite male singer always was Chris Isaak. Of course, he's, up there in the years now, but I like that kind of voice. Elvis was always a favorite. Billy Joel. I was a big Rick Springfield fan when I was a teenager. I wished I could have been Rick Springfield, by gosh. But I kind of like Josh Groban and Michael Bublé. I like those guys a lot. So you kind of see where I am with male vocalists. I've never been a rocker. I do like some rock and roll music, but I've never been a metal fan or that kind of stuff. I've always been more of a top 40 or crooner type thing. I love music of the 1940s and all the way up to now. I remember buying Norah Jones's first album and really being blown away. And then I bought that album on a whim, and then she won all those Grammys that year. I had Total Lady at the store that watched this artist. I was playing it while I was at work, and she said, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's Norah Jones." She said, "I really like that." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Remember that name, because I think you're going to hear more from her." And I'll be danged if come Grammy time, she swept the Grammys that year. I was so proud, and I don't know who that lady was, but I wondered if she heard that and thought of what I said. So I still listen to Norah Jones. She still has albums out. Did you know that? Probably not. But I'm almost 60. I realize that I'm not the key audience for music anymore. Kids need their own stuff. But I also, when I was a kid, I'm glad I didn't limit myself. I think I did it first, but I actually, when you get bored with everything and you start venturing out into other genres and seeking old music out and maybe studying the works of certain artists like Frank Sinatra and realizing, hey, these guys are ultra cool. Because when I was a teenager, I wouldn't have got caught dead listening to Frank Sinatra because that's music my dad listened to. But as I got older, and I think what sparked it was the use of that kind of music in movies. So there was that movie Music Connection that I love so much. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and rest my throat a little bit, and I'll be back with some more of the state of the world. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears, and I'm talking about a state of my world, the state of your world, the state of things in general today. As we sit, it's the first week in April 2025. Here we are into spring already. Time is flying. I can't believe 3 months has already gone out of this year. It's just insane. My whole world has changed. I mentioned losing my loved ones, but my boss retired. And a girl that's been working to take her place, because we kind of knew it was going to happen, has taken over, and this is her first time managing, and I'm really proud of her. I've known her since she was a little girl, and I'm always glad to see people succeed in life, and I really love that she's got this opportunity. I am going to be 59 at the end of this year, and I'm looking to retirement and more so than advancement. So I'm there to help, and I don't mind helping. I'm a good helper. So a lot of people were like, why didn't you get promoted? I'm like, it's a long story, but in the long run, it's because I really didn't want it. I'm very happy being a helper. And if we can find somebody that would be better at me at that, then I will step aside and I will let them, and I will help them too. Because that's the way I am. Try to keep it as low key as possible. To be truthful, I've been so stressed out with life for so long, and I'm kind of tired of all that, and I kind of just want to be a little more mellow and take things a little more easy, and I don't want to be so intense about everything. I really would like to just stop and smell the roses, stop and enjoy what I've got, and try to fix up what I've got. I've got a mess at my house that I really need to work on. Of course, I love my kitty cats. I want to get a room built for them so they can have their own space, so I can work on my house a little better. It's very hard I've had a hard time doing anything with my house since I got it, because when my mom was here, caring for her, and then I had my cats, and it was just hard to get anything done because I'd always have to stop and take care of them. So, yeah. So I really just want to, kind of chill out a little bit, and I would like to enjoy the moment more and quit worrying about tomorrow so much, because, I got to where, like, on my last day off, I'd be worrying about work the next day already. Now I've kind of put it off till, like, time to go to bed, where I try to get my clothes set out and everything. Trying to de-stress my life. Of course, here we are, a few months into the Trump presidency, and I think the aggression has kind of died down a little bit. People are just kind of taking a wait and see attitude, and, making vocal what they don't like about what's being done. I don't think there's been a lot of changes in our world. A lot of suggested changes, but I don't think the actual changes have happened. Not to me, anyway. You might disagree with that, but it's just the same old world it's always been. In my town, my mayor's retired. He's been mayor forever, and they just elected a first-time mayor, a young man. And our police chief retired. So I told you there's a lot of things changed. These things do affect me daily. I have to deal with the police station quite a bit in our business, and also my former mayor was a regular customer, whereas the new mayor doesn't really shop at my store. No offense to him, but he's more of the competition guy. So he may not be aware of issues over our way. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. I do know this guy. It's not a stranger to me. He's a nice man. All the best luck to him. So anyway, so many changes this year. I believe I said in my New Year's Eve podcast that I think this is going to be a transitional year. And so far it has been. Oh boy, has it been. I don't know. I've talked about movies and music, and I don't want to get into politics. I do not like to talk politics at all. I don't agree with everything on either side. I'll be honest with you. So, anything I'm going to say is going to make someone mad. So I'm just going to totally avoid the topic. And I was talking about, losing my mom, sister, and my Wilma. But, you know, I've also lost the biggest fan I had of my podcast, which is my sister Loretta. And it's just strange that she's not going to be listening to this. Now, maybe, she will in heaven, which is a wonderful thought. But I hope she has better things to do than listen to my podcast in heaven. I hope she's up there reuniting with my mom and dad and my grandma and all the wonderful people we've lost over the years. And I hope she's healthy and happy. And it's just a nice thought. Actually more of a belief, that keeps me happy, or keeps me from going completely bonkers. I recently, a lot of my, local police, speaking of the police, have, left and moved on to other agencies. And, one of the best jobs you can have as a policeman is a state policeman. And, I've had several of my midnight guys become state policemen. And, I'm very proud of them. I don't think people realize that, or my friends, that once you become that, in that circle of what I considered my friends, you're never going to get out. If you're wanting out, that's too damn bad. I will love you forever. If you moved me in a certain way or treated me in a certain way, I will never forget. Now, I might get mad at you. I might send you to the wall of the circle there, but you're not going to get out of there. You're going to be my friend forever. That's more of a promise than a threat. I hope that's not a negative thing. But, what's cool is one of my favorite midnight cops, became a detective, in another town, and, had all these experiences, and now he's a state trooper. He just became a state trooper, and he's being trained by one of my other midnight cops that I think a lot of. So I fear that my ears are burning a lot. I think we had a lot of fun and a lot of adventures when we were working. So I'm very proud that they became state policemen, and I wish them all the luck and, all the safety, and they're in my prayers nightly, because that's such a dangerous job. A lot of times those troopers are out on the highway at night or at the day even. I mean, there's always wrecks around here. And, if you have any police officers or first responders in your life, there's always that fear that something would happen, and you try not to let your mind go there. But, unfortunately, things do happen. We had a house fire today in Christopher, Illinois, where, the porch caved in, a sudden, I think it was an explosion, and the porch caved in on the I can't say fire, on the fireman. How's that? It caved in on the young man, and, luckily he was, saved. There's a video of them running and lifting that porch up and getting him out of there. That could have been a disaster. So you never know when your loved one goes on a call, on whether you're a policeman or a fireman or even an EMT, if they're going to make it home safe themselves. Because I think being a first responder of any kind is a calling. And I think to put you out there, it's kind of like nurses and doctors and ministers, and it's a calling. And I think to put people's safety first, is an amazing thing and very admirable. So I admire these people as well as love them, and they're my friends. So I think they're great. And I like to see them succeed and live the best lives they can possibly live. You know, my one officer, he was on his first policeman job when he was our midnight cop, and he was not married at the time and still kind of a kid. He was in his 20s, and he got married while we were friends, and I went to the wedding, and his wife graduated college as well. She's a teacher, and he's a state policeman, and they've had they got 2 children and are one on the way. And without mentioning names, I think it's great that my job has allowed me to make these friends and to meet these people. And, I love that. And I especially love my first responders that come in. There's a great deal of respect for them. And we've had a lot of chats, and I've made some lifelong friends with these people. And, that being firemen, EMTs, police officers, etc. I know when my mom was, when I was taking care of Mom, I have nurses come in, you know, on their way to work, and, they would, give me advice about my mom or what to do. And they were very helpful. So these people are wonderful. I mean, to be any of those things it's a calling, like I said, and not everybody can do these jobs or do them correctly. So I always have great respect for people like that. Anyway, I hope people have great respect for me. I remember when Johnny Carson retired that, I think it was Bette Midler said, "You've suffered fools gladly." You know, he's sat there and, listened to people and let them shine, and became a shining example of that ability to bring out interesting stories out of people that maybe weren't that interesting. I hope that I make people, I mean, you could ruin someone's day, or you can make someone's day with a single comment or an action. And I hope I've made people smile or started their day off better. I know I talk too much. I know that, but, I'm just real. That is not a fake. That is me being me. And, I always try to keep it real. Anyway, I'm going to take a break, and I'll be back with some more about the state of things. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm just talking about the state of things in my life right now. Didn't really have a subject to talk about too much. Figured I would just share some thoughts about the way things are right now and, where I stand. I mentioned pretty much a lot of things about movies and music and firemen and policemen, things I deal with every day. Another thing I deal with every day is this house. I inherited my childhood house, and I have such a mess in here. I took care of my mom here for 8 years. I've got several cats, and I cannot seem to get this house in order. And when I say that, it looks like a hoarder house. It looks like something you would see on the Learning Channel, some special TV series. And it's because of several factors. A, too much stuff. B, being kind of depressed. C, my animals don't help me any. And 3, so at 3, no. And what was I up to? D, I work a lot and I don't feel like doing anything. So, and I am never one to ask for help. I don't like help, but I wish I could find somebody that wouldn't judge, because everybody says, "Oh, we won't judge." Yes, you will. You will be judgy. I don't want that. I'm ashamed. I would be that person that would hire a maid, but I'd clean my house before she got here so she wouldn't see what a pig I am. I am a natural pig, and I don't mean to be. I can sit in one spot in my house and mess the whole house up, and I'm not joking. My old boss called me Pigpen. I just can't get organized. That's something I'd like to work on a little better, but, oh my gosh. I'm terrible. And I tend to be a pack rat, and I don't like that about me either. I would really like to get just a garbage bin and just throw everything away and start all over again. I would like to start with an empty house and just slowly put stuff back in. But then the problem is my cats. So the first thing I think I would do is get their room ready. And then after I got that done, I would do my bedroom, so I could have a place to relax after I'm worked a long day. And I bought a surround system for Christmas for myself that's still sitting in the box. So I did put my Christmas tree up this year, which is amazing. Usually I wait till like June or June. Usually I wait till the tree's always burned out. But I really used to leave the tree up for my mom because it was bright, and she liked the colored lights, and that's why I did that. So this year I took it down really quick. I just did it. I made myself. I still haven't bought a tombstone for my parents' grave, which is driving me insane. I've got the funds to do it. I've been checking into it, but boy, is expensive. And I really would like to do a good tribute for my parents, but what I'd like to do would be in the tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, I could just hear my parents save your money. So I don't think an extravagant tombstone is really needed to pay tribute to my mom and dad. They just need a marker, a nice marker. I think that'll be fine, but still, I really wish I had the money to just go all out and have something beautiful to remember them by. I'm going to be buried right by them when it comes my time. I'd also like to get my funeral arrangements in order ahead of time to make sure that my wishes are fulfilled as far as my death. I already told the funeral director several times, don't put a tie on me. I'll get up and take it off. That's kind of a running joke with me and our local funeral director, who's a great guy, by the way. It just doesn't feel right that I don't have a tombstone for my mom and dad. I actually haven't had time to go to the cemetery for a while. And, that's a shame. But, I don't ever feel like they're out there, really. It's just a place to pay tribute to them and to remember them. But I've said it before. I can walk out to the creek where my dad would take us as kids to target shoot with BB guns and to skip rocks in the creek. And that was his place to go when he was a kid. And he always loved that area. And that's where I feel my dad's spirit more. I feel my dad's spirit more in this house. And I can tell you right now, he would be so mad at me right now. And so would my mom be with this mess I've got. So I really want to I really don't want to spend another vacation trying to move junk around in this house, because that's what I feel like I'm doing, moving junk from one end to the other and not getting anywhere with it. It's so frustrating. But, my floors need redone in the kitchen, and the living room needs a floor covering, and the cats need a room, and I need to move into my parents' old bedroom, which still is a weird thought for me because that was the room I was conceived in, and to actually move in there is going to be strange. I can't help but feel that way. Yeah, this house is so full of memories. And, oftentimes it makes me lonesome for the old days, but I can look around, and it might, honestly, right now, the way I have this house, it doesn't look anything like it used to. And that was kind of what I wanted, not as messy as I wanted it. I have more clutter than mess, but, also with when you have animals, you're going to have the odor. I try to fight that every day, but sometimes it wins. But, my dad didn't allow us to have animals in the house. He would not like that at all. But, anyway, I really just would love to get this house fixed and to be able to come home and just chill and watch a movie and make supper. And I like to cook. I'd like to cook more. I'd like to have a functioning kitchen that I can actually creatively cook meals for myself in. Because I do like to experiment. And actually, if you can actually prepare a meal with fresh veggies and stuff, it's a lot cheaper than trying to buy microwave meals and stuff, the faster stuff. But, that's my current state. That's what I'm dealing with right now. Really not looking forward to warmer weather at all. I don't care for it. I don't know. Summer is my least favorite time of the year. Well, winter's not much better. I don't like the extreme seasons. I don't like the extreme hot or the extreme cold. I like winter up until after Christmas. And then this really was a depressing winter. I did very well through the holidays. And then after the holidays, I have been seriously bummed. And, at summertime depresses me. I get depressed around graduation times, the end of May. I don't know why that is, but I do. It's just a depressing time for me. And summer is so busy at my store and a lot of things going on and it's hot. And this year they're remodeling my store extensively. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if that's going to happen during the summer or not, but it probably will. But anyway, that's what's going on in my life. I think I'm going to take a break and I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And it's time to wrap this up. I really had no plans to do a podcast tonight. I just all of a sudden thought, why not? Plus, I don't want people to think that I've given up on doing podcasts because I promised a new one and I didn't deliver. And I just have been really down. And I'm not going to lie. It's grief is just it's such a difficult thing to deal with. And it's so unpredictable. And I'm doing my best, so bear with me. And if you can, say a little prayer for me. Prayers are always welcome. Positive thoughts. And I'll be fine. I'm a lover. I do love life. I feel that I've got a lot of life to live still. And I've never thought that I've reached the best time of my life. I think it's still around the corner. And usually it seems like when I start to enjoy stuff is when it's time to go. So I'm thinking probably right before, a few years before, and then I'll pass when I'm really happy and I really don't want to die. That's probably when the best time of my life will be here. Probably when I'm very old, I hope. Hope that's not anytime soon. I'd love to be able to retire early and enjoy life. I have always dreamed of a cottage by the sea in Maine with waters crashing and a private beach down some stem. That's my fantasy. But anyway, I want to thank you all for listening. I'm sorry I'm taking so long between podcasts these days. I can't promise that I will be more vigilant in getting podcasts out more regularly. I actually said that. I'm going to try. And like I said, I will complete the one I've completed that I haven't aired yet with Wilma, at a later date. It amazes me that people listen to what like to listen to my podcast. I enjoy that. I certainly didn't want to put this out here and nobody listen. So I hope that, I hope I've not been too big of a bummer. I'm trying not to be. I try to keep my sense of humor. I always have a sense of humor in anything I do. And I try to, even when I'm talking about serious subjects, I try to find something humorous about it. Sometimes it's harder than others, but anyway, that's what I do. And I'm rambling, once again. So I really just need to cut it off, tell you goodbye. Thank you for listening. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast for my head to your ears. Until next time, have a great spring.